Shalom. I am known as the marriage-minded mentor. I'm a dating coach and I love working with singles. And I wrote this awesome book. It's called Get Real, Get Married.
It's like the most ominous weather I've ever been out in. We're taking a big chance. How does someone know if they're marriage-minded, if they're ready for marriage?
I think that somebody comes to a place, there's a couple different options. Like, A, you could be so sick of dating that you're done. You're like, I'm done, I just want to be married. I don't even want to date anymore, I'm just done. You could come to a place of like an epiphany where you're like, okay, you know what? That single life was really awesome. I had a good time. Now I'm ready to move on. Right. Or it could be something like this slow process of, I've been dating for a long time. You know what? I think I'm done with this. I think I'm ready to move on. And it's not 100% clarity. It might just be a moving towards clarity kind of position.
Is there a right way to date?
I think so.
So what does it tell us?
There's definitely a wrong way to date.
Okay.
So just for example, a lot of times people date multiple people. So I would say that's like an exception more than do it all the time, right? Like, oh, this person said yes, the other one said yes, I already went out once, I already scheduled once, I kind of got myself into a little bit of a bind, oops. But I think in terms of being marriage-minded, you want to date one person, and the reason is it's for both sides. It's for you and it's for them. If I like you, and I don't like you compared to somebody else.
What do you recommend as an ideal first date? Like, what's the right place to go to? Is it better to take a girl out for dinner over coffee? Does it matter?
Not an ideal first date in terms of location, whether you do coffee or dinner. I mean, in general, you don't want to have a huge buy-in. Like, I don't know you, and sometimes it makes somebody feel uncomfortable. Oh, you're going to buy me dinner. I don't even know if I like you. I would say a talking date is important, right? You don't want to do an activity where you're never communicating with each other, or for example, go to the movies, or, you know, depending on where somebody comes from, they have different ideas of what they want to do, and they're like, well, we'll just distract ourselves so it's not super awkward. No, let it be awkward. It's fine.
Speaking of awkward, how do you dispel the awkward silences on a date?
Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. So sometimes the awkward silences are really good because you just have a moment, you gather yourself, you have something to say, and it kind of gives you that comfort of, I can sit here in an awkward silence with you. Like, we can be awkward together. Other times it's awkward where you're like, oh God, like, oh, get me out of here. Like, you just don't know what to do with yourself. So if you're feeling that way, ask a question, try to promote conversation, and ask open-ended questions. Some clients like to do that. They like to really plan every question, and I said, listen, you can't, because then you come off really stiff. Like, I'm gonna ask you a question, now I'm gonna ask you question number 2. Wait, awkward, think of question number 2. Wait, now I'm gonna ask question number 3.
Does it feel like the singles community is growing lately?
In general, across the globe, there are more singles because people are getting married later. It is a universal challenge that we're facing. People decided that getting a degree, going for a profession is number one. And hey, I can't get married unless I have all my finances and my life figured out. You're not gonna get everything figured out before you get married.
Yeah, how many times do we wait for the right time for anything?
And you miss the moment.
Uh-oh, it's starting to rain.
Hold out for us a little bit longer.
We need like 30 minutes and we're good. Suppose a couple meets. The physical attraction's not quite there. Everything seems good. The qualities are there. How long do you date until you feel like, oh, I don't know, maybe this isn't right, maybe this is right? Like, how do you know?
A couple of generic rules that you could follow. One is you date them till you hate them. That's one of my clients came up with that. I was like, oh, that's a good one. I don't want to marry you is a firm no, okay? You just said maybe, I don't know. It's one of the 2 phrases that my clients say all the time. If you're not sure, then it's a yes for now. I don't care if you go out for 2 months or 6 months or 2 years. Not that I expect it to be that long, but you should know that it's really a no, because when you have a good person, it's a good person. And what you're trying to figure out is it a good person for me? And the answer is maybe. And it's a maybe until it's a no. And if it's not a no, it's a yes for now. It's just a very, like, you keep coming back to this. Why don't people like to do that? Because it's annoying. Because you have to date for a really long time potentially, and what people call waste time. You're not wasting time trying to figure out the right person. Even if it goes on 6 months and at the end it's a no, but you can't get upset about it. But it's a part of the relationship process. And if you don't buy all the way in, you'll never get the results. And that's one big mistake that people make. But looks at least have to be what I would call parv, right? They could be a little parv minus, they should be parv plus, and moving parv plus, and like every time you look at them, you're like, it's a good person. I like the way that I feel when I'm with them. I like, you know, I know what I can do for them. Part of what people like sometimes there are people that can't figure out exactly what works or why it is and how to kind of classify what's going to make the most sense for them, because when you're dating, if you have a couple of options, or if you hope that you have a couple of options, you want to know how to choose the best one. Which is sometimes what I'm working with, because people, they don't know how to choose the right person. They can go out and they can have dates, and that's not a problem, but choosing the right person to have a date with to give them the most opportunity for success is really important.
That was something I became very good at. A friend of mine had like all these Saw You at Sinai suggestions, and she's like, none of these guys are for me. I'm like, nope. This guy's perfect for you, and she married him. Like, I keep using the word like it's a calculator, but I mean, I know it's more than just that.
So I get what you're saying. We'll try to explain it to everybody. It's kind of like a lot of data and information. And you have to filter and process it. And you have to have in mind the person that you're thinking of, and you have to have an accurate representation of your friend, right? Or of yourself. And then you have to have an accurate representation of what you're reading. So you also have to be good at analyzing and decoding what somebody said, how they said it, what they meant by what they said.
Decoding, that's the word I was thinking of. It's decoding a bio, but like you learn how to read between the lines. Correct.
So at this point I've read like thousands of profiles, and as I read them, I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, this is for you and this is not. And they're like, but how do you know? I'm like, okay, wait, I'm gonna, they're like, no. I stopped saying I just know. Like, I can't explain it to you. No,
she's a genius, she just knows everything. But when I wrote my profile, I was so straightforward. I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I'm into. I would like to find someone who's into the same things as me. So if you're into that, let's go out. And I was so straightforward.
You're just blunt, short, sweet, and to the point.
And my husband, with any bio that came his way, he'd be like, they're all the same. Why would I go out with them? And then he saw my bio and he's like, oh my gosh, she's into all the same stuff, and she sounds so cool. And I attracted the right person that way.
That's a really big tip and clue, which I also talk to people about. Don't hide behind your resume. A lot of people are afraid, I don't want to be too specific. If I'm too specific in what I want, it's going to cut out a whole bunch of people. And I said, yes, that's what you want. That's you want to cut out 90% of the people. Only 10% should say yes or maybe.
So crucial to know that. How do you get out of a dating rut? Because sometimes you could date and date and date. You're not finding the right guy. You're not getting any closer, or girl, and you're not getting any closer, so then what?
But the quickest way to get married sometimes is to stop dating. Do whatever you need to do. So if you need to go on vacation, you should book a vacation. And if you need to spend time with family, you should spend time with family. Stop dating. Go take care of yourself. Go date yourself. I tell people, you want to date somebody? Buy yourself a cup of coffee and take yourself on a date and sit there and just enjoy your own presence. Figure out what you need and take care of it. Even if it's not a need, if it's a want, if it's a something, if you're feeling a lack, if you're feeling low, you've got to bring yourself back up before you show up on a date.
If you agree that Aleeza is #goals, then be sure to like this video and subscribe for more #goals the show. Woo! That was amazing.